Okay, this is going to be a video about smoking bees and how it's done. Um, the blog sort of goes into why it's done. Um, Honeybees are not aggressive, and if you've got stung by them, it's your fault. Honeybees are defensive, and they will only sting you if they think they're under threat, or more importantly, the hive is under threat. So when you're dealing with them, you want to try and calm them down as much as you can, and this is where the smoking comes in. In terms of stuff you can use to produce smoke, pretty much anything that will burn will be fine. This stuff is shredded cardboard, and rather ironically, the main bee suppliers send all their stuff in boxes packed full of this stuff. So I've got dustbin bags full of this laying around. The advantage of this is that it lights very quickly, and you can get some smoke very quickly. The disadvantage of this stuff is that it burns out very quickly. So if I was going to do all of the hives here, say 9 of them, whatever there are, I'd be forever filling up with this. The other stuff you can use are these pellety type things. They're just sort of wood chips, I think, compacted. You use lighters with it. I've never been overly impressed, which is why the tin has hardly been opened and hardly been used. The stuff that I've used for a long time is this stuff. It comes in blocks like this. It's compacted cotton waste. The downside of this stuff is, as you can see, it's quite hard. So if you want to use it, you're going to have to sort of feather it up and break it down so it burns more easily. The advantage of this stuff is that it lasts for a long time, but it's a bit difficult to start. What I tend to do with this stuff is I use a tea strainer and put some in there, and I use my trusty blowtorch to get it started. As far as the smoker itself is concerned, this is the sort of classic thing I'm sure both of you have seen before, the usual sort of pump action type thing. It just has simple bellows here, and there is a hole in the bottom of the bellows, and you can see there's a little tube there, so the air gets pushed into there, and inside is a little gauze, little mesh thing at the bottom for the air to come in, and stuff burns in there. And this is just a little nozzle thing just to aim it. This hook is just so you can hang it on somewhere by the side of the hive perhaps, and this thing is just to get this lid on and off. What I now use is actually a combination of this stuff and the cotton waste. This stuff here just burns very quickly. Like I said, I'd just use this if I was only going to be here for a little while, but what I'll do with this is put some of this in the bottom here. Dump it down. And although you can use matches and all sorts of different things, slightly more heavyweight approach is I use a blowtorch. So if I light this up, through catches. So that's okay. And then what I'll do is I'll put a load of this stuff in. Just break it up first. Ouch. You can see the spikes coming out of the way. Break it up. There is, believe it or not, a knack to doing this, which I'm embarrassed to say I've only recently sort of mastered. What you what you want to do is to burn from the bottom upwards. What most people do, me included, is chuck a load of stuff in here, set fire to the stuff on top, which promptly goes out, and you're forever trying to fill this thing up. So you can see the smoke is taking now. Just a little bit more. Okay, so just keep giving it a bit of air just to get it going. So I'll close this up now. And there we go. A smoker that is smoking. And the nice stuff about this cotton waste stuff is that it gives quite a nice cool smoke. And although the bees obviously aren't entirely thrilled by the whole idea, they're okay. So what, again, there's a bit of a technique with these things, as there is with everything. And what beginners do, and I did as well, will be to take this thing, put some smoke in the hive and think, right, that's it, done, let's get going, which is the wrong thing to do. And so what you should do is just to go and put a little bit of smoke in the entrance to the hive, and then just leave it to permeate its way around the hive. Give them a couple of minutes just to calm down and relax, and then you can start doing whatever it is you want to do. So you see this is caught quite nicely now. Considering it's quite a nice day, they all seem a bit quiet. So I think what we'll do is I'll just stop the video here. I'll put the camera by a hive just so you can see sort of the initial smoking, and then you can see the effect it has on them when you open the hive up, and how it calms them down. Okay, this is hive number 1. Of all the hives in Ravenston, this is the one that's always just a little bit more defensive than the others. You can see that they are quite busy, in fact busier than the other hives. And recently I've put a second super on the thing. I'll just try and pan upwards. The one, the bottom one, the red one, was pretty much full. And the orange one that's gone on top was obviously empty, and it would be interesting to see how they are filling this up, bearing in mind I have no honey. So what I'm going to do is just put a puff of smoke in the entrance for the hive, leave them for a couple of minutes, and then we'll have a look inside. Look at the size of that drone, can you see him? Huge boy. Huge boy. Right, you'll hear a roar probably. They become a little bit more agitated inevitably because this is bad news for them. So, we put a bit of smoke in there. I'll leave that for a minute or two and let it work its way through the hive, and then we'll open it up, have a quick look inside, although the main thing we want to do obviously is just so you can see what the effect is the smoke has on the bees. So I'll suit up properly and we'll get underway. Okay, I've taken the crown board off that was on top of the supers, and as you can see they are very calm, which is what you want them to be. You can probably see them sort of coming up to the top. Now this is the super, like I said, this is the things that have the honey in that we want, that I have none of at the moment. And just looking down into the frames, it looks quite promising. I'll just take one out so you can see what it looks like. Excuse me. cute. The ones on the outside normally are the last ones to be filled, but at least give us an idea of what is going on. So lift it up. Oops, you see the frames have dropped off there. Come back on again. You can probably see there. Can you see? She's having a good drink. She's having a good drink. These three are snorkeling it up like crazy. So you can see that the effect of the smoke is that it makes them think that the hive or the wood is on fire and they need to get some food inside them before they go. And probably if I turn this over, you can see most of them doing that as well. Now, as I said, this is the outside one of a super. You can see, look, they're all having a little drink. Yeah. And they're perfectly okay. You know, there's nothing on me, there's not bee on me anywhere. Can you see here, this is honey that has been processed to their liking, and they've capped it over with wax, and eventually that whole frame will be full up, he says, hopefully. Okay, this is the beast, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of bees on top. They're all fairly calm and okay, not too bothered with me. It's a nice day. But this will sort of demonstrate the effect that the smoke has on bees. As you may better see the wafting of the smoke. Now, there's a lot of bees there. I'll try and get as close as I can. Bear with me a second. Okay, so I'll just give a bit of smoke. And suddenly, they all want to be somewhere else. And a bit in that corner. As you can see, the bees have got better things to do. After all, the forest is on fire and they need to stock up a packed lunch. So there you go. That's what smoke does to bees.